Hello, everybody! Are we back? Are we truly back? I think we are.
Are you sure you're not in the simulation?
That's always the question. well, that's always the question if this is truly a simulation or not. Welcome back, everybody, to Swimmer Sync 105. We once again apologize for all of the technical difficulties that has been happening throughout. Obviously, less than ideal situations for us and everybody else involved. But here, just to get you guys quickly recapped here into Top Cut. In round 1 of Top Cut, especially, SEQUOIA was able to take home Yelto Alley tower control, and then just while we were waiting for the stream to come back up, All Gas No Brakes has taken home Hagglefish Market Rainmaker. So this set is not done yet. We're gonna go to a third map here, Vapor.
Yeah, Manta Maria, Clam Blitz. Street's a little bit wider. You have the block on the left side. This map is wide open and probably one of the best map mode combinations in the game to date.
I could definitely agree with that one. And this is also the same ship. It's Manta Maria, exactly what you remember from 2, but obviously with some tweaks here and there to make it work for Splatoon 3. You had the expanded street to work with for both of these teams, so many different ways to approach it, and also very flank-heavy territory, so gonna wait and see how both these teams, how they want to approach this one. I'm sure both these teams are starting to feel the pressure, knowing the fact this is their last map of the set, and whoever wins moves on to the next round.
Win or go home. That's what all this comes down to. Game 3 of a Top Cut single elim bracket. Let's get heading into this. It's going to be SEQUOIA in the yellow against All Gas No Brakes in the blue. Watch out for that Flingza roller rounding on those tri-strikes. 10 attack once more. Kilos on that heavy Splatling. Keep an eye out for some killer whales, missiles, and Zukas. Gotta be careful.
Keep an eye out for every special in the book here as you mentioned, because if played correctly in Manta Maria, considering how this map is shaped, you could find yourself caught in the wrong side of those specials, and that is exactly what you can see here. Right now, though, both teams are kind of just farming things out, trying to get a good feel for each other, and you might get the sense here for both these teams there might be some nerves kicking in, and see if they can win this third map. We're gonna see All Gas No Brakes taking out 2, though.
Yeah, build up those clams, and they open up that basket. It's going to be these Glugas underneath, trying to find a few picks. It's going to be Gray with some follow-up clams, though. Kilo trying to hold off everyone else through the street, but it looks like this push may come to a close here. But not a bad opening here. We're just over a minute in, and All Gas No Brakes takes a 35-point lead.
1+5 is definitely not a bad push, excuse me, to note here as well. It's still a nice cushion to work with, but of course, you don't want to give up a big push on the other side there as well. But it's still a nice opener there. 2 members going down on side. Make that 3 down on SEQUOIA's side, and now we got a power clam on a Vakiyama's end, and that is a lot of ink going down, and that is the barrier broken, and even more clams coming in. All Gas No Brakes, true to their name, they're putting the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, keep up in that 4th gear. Looks like they're trying to hit 5th gear as well. Glugla's stuck in the corner. Basket does end up closing, but they're able to get out of that, jumping pretty safely too, keeping up the offensive pressure. One ends up getting off, but the Glugla Shark King, they do end up getting down though. This is advantage SEQUOIA, but there's a lot of paint to make up here. They have a lot of points to make up, and a lot of clams that need to be built. Not before the Gluglas shut down Roundy, though.
Yeah, the Glooga shutting down the T-Tech, but also Glooga is going to get taken out in return. That's a very good point, though. Still a decent deficit to break through. But one key thing to note, though, there's still plenty of time. No real reason to panic yet. One really strong push can always be the decider. What a find by the Tri-Slosher by the end of all that one, but it's going to get traded with the Flames of finding them by the end of this one. But as All Gas No Brakes, as they're trying to push up ahead here, they got even more clams to carry along, but so does SEQUOIA.
Yeah, went down, slowed down a little bit for All Gas No Brakes. Try build up specials and play defense. Throw that clam, try apply a little bit more ping at the ball runner's feet, but it wasn't in time. That's 3 down on the side of SEQUOIA, and this is going to be one and done. Throw the football off the mat. This is going to be advantage. All gas, no brakes, and they're going to keep this pedal down.
Right idea by SEQUOIA to at least find the push. They were able to put all the ink down to help set up all the squids to follow suit, but then some of them were just straggling behind, which allowed All Gas No Brakes to recuperate on defense and take this one home. And in terms of shutting down that offense, one and done was that push, but more importantly, they keep those points remaining sharp. It's still manageable, but not much time left. The margin of error is only so small, but SEQUOIA is trying to respond back. They taken out too.
Oh, that's another going down to the hands of Archer. This Tri-Slosher is going to be the main difference of this game. And not just the Slosher, it's also going to be the heavy finding a pick onto the shot as well. Glue is trying to hold the bunker while their heavy is down. But you have to watch out for Archer on that Tri-Slosher. Using the verticality of the map, using the range it has, you have to be really careful, especially looking around flanks, as Archer is going for one, trying to find the Glugas from behind.
Yes, exactly. You have to still respect the Tri-Slosher by the end of the day, and All Gas No Brakes are trying to shut down any ideas that SEQUOIA might have. This is a bad time to drop a few members. SEQUOIA has to understand their win condition here. It's 20 seconds left to go, and they have to win a huge fight against All Gas No Brakes to make it happen. Not much time left, Vapor.
You have to win at least one fight to make it all the way down, and you're one member down on the field. So if you're around it, you have to stay alive with this ball, and you have to find picks with these specials. Tri-strikes, Will, both getting popped out, and you lose 2 members. That might be a little bit too much, but 2 go down on the side of All Gas No Brakes. About 5 seconds left of overtime, but there's no one near the basket. Everyone's jumping over the power clam, and they're unable to get it. All Gas No Brakes. They're going to move on to top 8.
Congratulations, All Gas No Brakes to advancing to the next round. I have to give note, though, there was still a lot of power clans, but they're from SEQUOIA, but definitely some great disciplined play from All Gas No Brakes, not looking to overextend or try to fight more than they can chew. Yes, they did drop 2, but they bought enough time, considering that overtime is going to just gradually keep ticking down. All they need to do is buy themselves some time, make sure that SEQUOIA has no room to work with. They take out 2. Sure, they dropped 2 of their own. It still accomplished what they wanted to do, which was no push from SEQUOIA to take it home.
Yeah, and that's all it really came down to at the end of the day. Make the push, stop them when you need to stop them. And All Gas No Brakes, they had control of mid the whole time, and they stopped SEQUOIA in mid exactly where they wanted them.
Exactly. I mean, there were some quick pushes from All Gas No Brakes that allowed them to keep a cell range. And SEQUOIA was so close. SEQUOIA had a one and done, unfortunately, but even though it made it manageable, All Gas No Brakes, they realized that's still not a bad lead to take in. Let's just make sure we prevent SEQUOIA from getting any chances to work with. It was starting to become a lot more defensive, and All Gas No Brakes, all they need to do is just punish what SEQUOIA was trying to do, and they did just that.
Yeah, and it worked out to their advantage at the end of the day. All Gas No Brakes will be moving on into top 8. SEQUOIA, unfortunate top cut run. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys next week there. But All Gas No Brakes, they're going to try and make the run of their life.
I mean, this has just been an excellent run from All Gas No Brakes, down 1-0 to start the set, then crawling back to win the next 2. just incredible resilience and understanding that, okay, we did drop the first one. We know it's a best of 3. We just had to win the remaining ones. Make sure that we play our game and win and take home any advantages that we may have. And they certainly did just that. That Hagglefish market, again, taking it down to 16-punch range, again, that as much as we knew, to take it all the way home. And then just a clean Manta Maria map on their favor. And clean in terms of just not allowing SEQUOIA to crawl back and get their own push.
Yeah, and that's all it comes down to at the very end. You just have to find the opportunity to push and find the opportunities to make the stops, which is what All Gas No Breaks did throughout this whole set, and that's what we're going to do ourselves. We found our way to make it in here. Now we're going to find our way to head out as we have another set of Top Cut with brand new commentators coming up next. Keon, where can the viewers find you at?
Find me on Twitter and on Twitch. I'm Keon2570. Where can people find you, Vapor?
You guys can find me over on Twitter and Twitch at V4P0R_SPL. Stay tuned with Grace and IMAD coming up on the mic next.
Hello everyone! Welcome to Swimmer Sync 105. We are in the Great White Bracket. It is I, Mad Game II, and I am joined by the one and only Grace. How are you doing tonight?
I'm so wonderful. I can't believe they brought me back again. And by they, I mean Skepadillion. The Skepadillion.
Yes, of course. Always gotta have you on when you can.
Listen. I'm just surprised that we're here later in the bracket too. I didn't think they liked my bread puns. I didn't think they liked when I said Inkblot was like white bread. But listen, I've somehow smuggled my way in here, so we're just gonna go for it. Do you recognize either of these teams tonight?
I know Narwal's a pretty frequent with the SOS. Looks like they got a bit of a Not really a pick up, but a couple of subs going in. Narwal Gaming plus Reiz.
Yes,
Some
yes.
familiar names.
I, for one, do not recognize Splatalot Zesty, and if you look really close in the corner there, past the lovely nail polish emoji, look really, really close for me. It is the the dog meme where he says variously offensive things, and you might be thinking, well, Grace, what does he say? He says things such as, it's just not natural, or Skittles Squad, or a little bit fruity. And I believe that is what he's saying tonight. I believe it says a little bit fruity. So maybe Splatalot Zesty is a little bit fruity. I, for one, embrace that here.
Zesty fruit. I dig it.
Uh-huh, that's definitely the kind of fruit we're talking about, Imad. Don't even worry about it. So, don't even worry about it. But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to see Narwal here. I feel like I've never gotten to commentate them before. I've made the winners graphics for them winning SOS, and I've written them in tweets for them getting various placements in different brackets of SOS. I feel like they probably maybe won a Hammerhead or something. I mean, I feel like everybody has at this point. But I mean, I'm very excited to commentate them today, and we're starting on Sturgeon Shipyard Splat Zones. What do you think about this, Imad? What do you think about it?
Oh, this is one of my all-time favorites right here. Zones on the Sturgeon. Sturgeon in general is just one of my favorites, but especially Zones. It's got some nice positioning for when you're on the defending team, but it's not too difficult to get back out if you coordinate your specials right. So it's got like a nice balance of both.
Yeah, I feel like this was a map everybody was very excited to see it in Splatoon 3, and I feel like people get excited when they see it on map lists, and it doesn't make them upset. And I don't like making people upset, as you know. The SOS map list tries to be very inoffensive, similarly to the lovely Whitney Chuston, which is the name of the dog in the profile picture of Splatalot Zesty, if you did not know. Whitney Chuston. I will say it again for the people at home. Whitney Chuston. It's a killer name. Listen, I like it.
It is a killer name. I appreciate you sharing.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty deep in the
lore.
the lore of this dog. Yeah, listen. If I had a dog, I'd probably name it something weird. I mean, I have a bird. For the friends and family at home that know me, I have a lovely bird named Buttercup. She's a cockatiel. The ones that look like Pikachu, you know, with the little cheeks. I could not have named her Whitney Chuston, but I'm very glad that the proud owners of said Whitney Chuston named their lovely dog that. It's a really great name. I really like it.
Yeah, it is hard to top that.
Do you have any pets, Imad?
I do. I have 2 cats. One is Freddy, one is Thunder.
That's quite a pair of names. Is it like, where'd you get them?
We got them from one of the local shelters. I think they were like a year old when we got them, and now they're man, it's been at least like 10 years? No, it can't be 10 years. It's been a long time. It just time flies, but yeah, they were named at the shelter. Freddy is a black cat with, I think, the yellow eyes. And then Thunder is white with the gray splotches, which is why he was named Thunder.
That's really cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so sorry for everybody, people who are maybe not pet people. I got very excited. I love cats, which do not mix with birds.
No, I would not think so.
Unfortunately.
If Looney Tunes has taught me anything, birds and cats do not miss.
Unfortunately, I would love to be a proud cat mom one day, but that is a-okay. So honestly, what do you think these teams are gonna run here? To get back to Splatoon, because I'm sure that my friends and family at home would love to hear about Splatoon.
Yes, of course.
What do you think they're looking to run here?
Now, on the side of Splatalot Zesty, if that is the bandit I think it is, we might be seeing a lot of charger action from their side. I do know of a bandit that is like a really, really good charger main.
Yeah. They used to be on the... Somebody's gonna get on my butt about this if I'm wrong. The Ravenous Raccoons back in the day, the low ink days. Question mark? I can hear Pop Gun like pounding on my door right now to come and kill me. um, but that is definitely a name that I recognize. I feel like there's a lot of players that I feel like I recognize, but I like don't want to say anything unless I'm very, very wrong. Because there could be many bandits.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Like, I'm not 100% sure because they don't have a tag in their Battlefly name, but it does not. Well, no. You know, I still can't tell.
Oh,
It's still a Charger.
Wait, it's them! It's definitely them! Listen, that's a win for me. We recognize somebody, like, we're gonna fist bump right now.
Yeah, fist bump.
I'm not surprised by the sloshing machine picks here that we see out of both sides here on Narwal and Zesty. Already getting a pick here on the splash. And one of the sides is running double splash, so to be expected,
Yes, indeed, double splash. One of them is the Neo, so paired against the T-Tech, like, we pretty much have similar comps, with just the backlines, like, the biggest differences. I'm impressed that they're bringing out the ballpoint, but unfortunately that is 3 down for Narwal. A delayed wipe, as you were.
I was about to say, I feel like that's a pseudo wipe right there, and I feel like that backline is going to have a lot of pressure here because we know Bandit, we know that they slay, and it's going to be kind of tough to break out of their hold here, I think, because of that Charger.
No, absolutely. Like, this is definitely an excellent splat lane map, but you have a tough time when you're going up against a Charger like that, especially one with the Ink Strike and Splat Wall. They can set up so well, and we already see, though they have the 2 down, they are down to 24 points on that zone.
Ooh, nice shot there from Bandit. Again, they're coming in attacking from both sides of the zone here, which I think is a really good play on the side of Narwal. But once you get picked off from that Charger, you lose so much steam, and it's really going to take a miracle here for them to... Oh, and said miracle has happened, that they did overtake the zone, unfortunately, because Zesty went 2 down during that push that Narwal pulled off there.
Yeah, the pick for that Charger certainly delayed their pushing by quite a bit, but once 3 of the members were down, they were able to come in and paint the zone before it got the knockout. So now Narwal is in control of the zone. This is a good place they want to be. The Crab and the Ink Strike are coming out, however. They'll just have to survive and keep the zone painted.
Very nicely done here by the splash here, Reiz, because they painted over those strikes that could have most definitely capped the zone. I mean, we know how devastating tri-strikes can be, so very nicely done by them. Unfortunately, Zesty does go 2 down. I feel like it's not looking great for them here in this push. They're really going to have to pull something out here.
Yes, indeed. That is actually a delayed wipe as well. Just the vanilla splash alive, and already Narwal is pushed up into their placement with the ballpoint and that snipe. If the Charger can take them down, but if the rest of the team, they're not going to be able to get in time.
That was very interesting. I feel like we don't see very often where one team sweeps up until like the last minute there. We saw until the timer hit about like 2 points left, whatever. And then they like reverse, like what is it called? 100 to 0 them. Like they KO'd them right then after that hold. Like it was very interesting. I feel like maybe since they had such similar comps, they kind of struggled with pushing out of that. What do you think, Imad?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's just the matchups were certainly pretty even. Yeah, I don't know if like the weapon play again, like you said, they're pretty similar. So like it doesn't really come down to a comp difference. But I think with zones, if you're able to lock them out, and we saw Narwal paint that zone incredibly well, they were able to just keep the zone even through a Crab and an Ink Strike. In fact, it was Zesty that lost members after they used those specials, and so I think it was just that failed push right there that just kept the momentum going for Narwal.
Yeah. I mean, when a lot of people say this about sort of mirror matches, is the good thing about it is that you kind of know what they're going to do. And although we didn't see exactly the same type of weapons there, like we saw the T-Tech versus the Neo Splash, I feel like it can still be kind of tough knowing what they're going to do because you're doing it, so you know that it's going to work, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh, what do I do? Because like I know that they're going to crab on me and then mow me down, you know? It's like it's tough. But maybe we'll see somebody pull something out of pocket, maybe a stamper or something like that on tower control Inkblot. What do you think they're going to lean here?
I think the Charger's definitely going to come back, and honestly, they could keep all of their shooters And it'd just be a matter of whether they decide to stick with the ballpoint or, like, the ballpoint is certainly a very versatile weapon, but I would not be surprised if they wanted to do something like a vanilla heavy.
Yeah, I feel like the people who I know that play ballpoint, it's more of like a not like a comfort pick, but it's kind of your go-to in that sense. And they did. I called it. Made the record show. But I don't think either team switched up the comps here. I'm at. I think it's the same.
Yeah, you are right. Both of these teams have stick with their comps. You know, it works. They're like is pretty flexible. They can work for zones and for tower control.
Yeah, and we see here those tri-strikes are already coming out. We see the opposing side who didn't quite pop those strikes already also farmed them. Now they do pop them out. The sloshing is going to go down, which gives Narwal here the advantage to try and make a push.
And make a push they shall. Looks like even the ballpoint gain the inkjet in with a nice pick, but they are going to be countered by. Oh, I thought it was the charge. No, it's the sloshing machine that took them out.
Yeah, I feel like if they had kind of kept the ball going with that push, they could have gotten a bit more points on the board. But listen, objective always has to be your main priority there. If you can get points, you can get points. But unfortunately, as we all have probably felt and seen, those tri-strikes totally cancel out a push right there. They lock onto the tower, completely ruin your day. Maybe this will not stop Narwal here. Third T-Tech tries to struggle on the tower for a bit there, but Bandit does end up taking them out.
I think that is going to be the thing that I think just sets the balance off on the side of Zesty, perhaps. You know, in the last match we had that ballpoint. The ballpoint, if they're able to stay alive, you know, even if they're not getting the picks, they can paint incredibly well. You know, the Charger, they pretty much have to get picks in order to be a menace on the map. And as we saw in the last match, Narwal was able to just stay alive. But now the roles are reversed. When you have to have someone on the tower, that's just easy target for a good Charger main.
Yeah, very true. We see the splash here going for that stack control with the crab rolling up the wall. I think it's very funny when people use the rolling feature with crabs. That's very funny. And because of the rolling feature, definitely, they get 2 down here, although the one they just respawn back. Oh, no, I commentators curse everyone. Bandit just loves to clean up all of the players here on the side of Narwal. I feel like they're really their biggest threat here because, again, like we were talking about, the nature of tower control. It's kind of easy picking.
And this map is definitely a little bit smaller than Sturgeon, so there's some. Once the Charger can set up on those stacks, it can just reach so many places. But we see Narwal, they are putting on the pressure. That Charger and the Splash, they're going to be going down to Chompy here, and they're just completely pushing them back onto their plat.
Yeah, and as we saw, as soon as they got that Charger, they were ready to push because they knew that that was really the one killing their pushes there because, as we have said many a times before, but unfortunately the T-Tech does kind of get cornered there, which takes the eyes away from the tower, which I think was kind of a saucy move there. I kind of like that. Enabling Narwal here to get that checkpoint, and it looks like they're kind of on the ropes a little bit.
Some distraction 100 right there, and they are going to be taking it on to that third checkpoint. And with just the Neo Splash remaining, they do, and that's going to be a wipeout. Ooh, this is not looking good for Zesty here.
Honestly, I'm very surprised by that. I feel like I didn't see them getting that many picks here in this, but they completely locked them out, and they got another wipe, which seals the deal and gets them that KO. Dang.
You know, it's like the Charger certainly had a presence there. In fact, all these members played well, but Narwal, they just continued with that aggression. I think even Zesty, they want to get into like the last couple of points. There was a bit of panic that led to that last wipeout.
Right. I feel like TC Inkblot is very lockout heavy. I feel like more than other map modes, especially. And I think once they kind of get into your little bats area, pushing up against your spawn, it gets really intimidating, and you want to feed into them and drop into them to win those fights. But it's kind of about stalling them out. But if they're pushing you back, like we saw Narwal doing, I mean, what are you even going to do?
Exactly, you know, like when you have like the checkpoint to slow them down, you can have a little bit of peace of mind, but when they're through the checkpoint like that, it's like, what are you going to do at that point? You know, either rush in or you just try to play safe and bomb them out, and either way could just end in disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it's very unfortunate. I feel like like I've been saying, TC Inkblot is very wishy-washy in that I feel like it's very tough to hold a lead. Like if you get a really good lead at some point and you're kind of trying to maintain it, it can be really, really tough because I feel like a KO is kind of customary. I feel like you've never really won on Tower Control Inkblot unless you KO. That's kind of what it feels like.
No, I have to agree with you there. And one thing I am a little bit surprised about, is, especially with both of these matches actually, with the ZNF Charger and then also running the Neo Splash, that's kind of the double aim strike. The fact that Narwal went up against the double aim strike and Booyah Bomb and still managed to get the knockout for both of these matches is still, again, really impressive.
Right, I didn't even think of that. I think that also plays into a bit of the panicky aspect that you kind of get when they're pushed up on your spawn, they're in your bats, like we've been talking about. I think you kind of forget about getting your special, or somebody has to remind you, like your shot caller's got to be like, y'all, play for special. But in those kind of moments when you're freaking out like that, you don't really think about it. And I'd be interested to see what the special counts were for those strikes, because I feel like a strike there at the end could have maybe stopped their push, but they just never got it out.
Exactly, and we even saw that Neo Splash, last one remaining, had their special, but Shisana fell into the wrong fight at the wrong time.
Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate.
Now, I do believe that was going to be, it is just a best of 3, so Narwal is going to be moving up against Pickup next. Are we going to be continuing on, or do we have a short break, I wonder?
I don't think we have a break, I'm at. I think they want us to just keep going. And to that I say...
the no break zone.
And to that I say, you will maybe be sorry. The lovely graphic that you all see on the stream currently is what the Great White Bracket looks like for us on Battlefy. You can totally get it with the bracket link, but this is much prettier. So let's take a little look-see at it. I'm very excited to see that TatsuGAYri, to specify, TatsuGAYri. It's in all caps, y'all. You have to make sure you emphasize it, if you will. I definitely recognize them. With a name like that, how could they not stand out? So I'm excited to see them in gray white. I feel like I don't remember them making gray white before, but I'm getting old. And by old, I mean I'm a freshman in college, so my brain...
That's still old to some people.
I feel like my brain's kind of turning into a peanut a little bit, like a goldfish, like the goldfish cracker,
I feel that. I was just thinking the other day, if you're under the age of 5, you have a bedtime. But if you're over the age of 25, you also have a bedtime,
Oh my gosh.
It's just more self-imposed at that point.
I feel like I should have a bedtime. I don't know. It's pretty wonky, I'm mad. I gotta get it together. Something's not happening.
So there is no sleep when you're in school. Let's be real.
Unfortunately. But I do want to look at the people that we did unfortunately have to say goodbye to, and maybe pick out a favorite team name, because SOS is home to many a pickups, as you can see, of the team that is named Pickup, who is not my favorite name, by the way. Not my favorite name. I will be very upset if more people play under the name Pickup. But I really like the team name 1111 Make-A-Wish.
That is a pretty fire name.
I don't think they're a pickup, because I think they have a icon. So they're either a really dedicated pickup or a team that has graced their presence and made their rounds in Great White Bracket this week, which is really cool. Even if you get knocked out in round 1, it's still an achievement. You can put it in your send out. Listen. It's pretty cool. Okay.
It is pretty cool.
Are there any teams here that you would like to shout out, or any of them that you recognize?
I'm trying to see here. I feel like I recognize... I feel like I commentated over Decay at one point. But I really love Orca Ballistra. That's another fire name right there. I really, really like that name. I'm also happy to see Stargaze. I feel like they're not really communicating with
me properly as a team. I don't know if they're like back or if they're not back. Like sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't see them. Give me a sign, Stargaze. What's happening? Just let me know. It's
Just
really
give us a
upsetting.
shout.
Just tell me. Tell me if you love me or not. That's really, that's really upsetting. But we are gonna head into the lovely match that is the opposite side of the bracket in Great White semifinals. So top 4, baby.
Well, top 4.
Top 4.
We're going to be starting off with some Clamblitz Scorched Gorge. This is one where you'll either get like a really big push at the beginning or it'll just stall out the rest of the match.
Maybe that's why I'm not good on Scorch. I feel like I'm always struggling on Scorch. I feel like whenever I like throw the power clam in, I just die. And then my team's like, Grace, you didn't pop your bubble. And then I'm like crying, like really upset. It's not my friend, but
It's a tough map, you know, like it's really big, but like there's only one way to go unless you're like got a heck ton of run speed.
Listen.
You know, because they have
No, continue.
they have the grate going through middle, but more often than not you'll be going through just up the ramp into the basket, you know, and that's an easy choke point to defend if you have at least even one member up.
Listen, I'd be so mad if I'm trying to go for a push and my teammate pushes the clam, like the power clam, through the grates. I would be so mad. I would be like, why?
Why?
I feel like you're just throwing yourself away. You're going into the pit. Like, it's on purpose at that point. I feel like you're just a prime target when you walk over those grates, so
100%.
it's tough, it's tough.
Yeah, it's just like a brush-only entrance, you know? Like, they're the only ones who can really run through without any trouble.
That is a good point. I don't play with many brushes, although my one lovely friend, also family, teammate, Gillies, probably not watching this right now, from my university team, does play Octobrush, but I don't think he's ever pulled off a weird, sneaky little shenanigan like that before, so maybe I have to get him on that.
Yeah, you really gotta catch them unawares. If they're running a backline, more often than not, they will have someone on that snipe just watching that, and then it's almost impossible at that point.
Yeah, I mean, what do you even do at that point? I'm very excited heading into this match, though, because
oh
my gosh, I'm mad.
I mean,
I'm
we
mad.
didn't really.
Oh,
Oh.
what? What happened?
I was about to say, like, we're not meeting our crab quota here, but I guess they saw that and just decided to end it early.
No, I just checked in with the Battlefy. They're talking about it. It looks like somebody's PC exploded. Not actually exploded, my bad. I shouldn't say that. It's overheating, something like that, so I guess we're just gonna have to relive watching them pop out of those little spawn things and see them run double sloshing splash. So listen, I'm mad. When I woke up today, I was like, I'm commentating SOS Grands later. This is currently semis, but we're gonna have to do Grands. And if I see double splash, double sloshing, something's gonna happen. It's not gonna be good. Like somebody's being put on my hit list. It's not gonna be pretty.
Somebody's gonna get hurt real bad.
Yeah. Listen. Just goes to show that listen, I keep seeing sides of the argument where people are like, oh, well, people just aren't used to the changes yet and they don't really know what other comps to run. Listen, I don't have hope. I think Crab is here forever. I think they're gonna have to, the only way they can fix it is they're gonna have to make it ball only mode and you have to roll people over like Baller.
At that point, you're just bringing back Baller. Like, it's not Crab.
Listen, no, I'm kidding. Of course there's other stuff that they can do, but
you know, just give it an exploding feature, and then you have, oh man, imagine if Crabs had a detonate feature. You know, like if you end it early and it just explodes.
That'd be terrible.
It would be absolutely broken at that point. Like, it's already broken, but it would be even more so.
Listen. All right, lovely comp. It's really funny. But I digress. If it works, it works, y'all. And if it wins you SOS, it wins you SOS. So play. Oh.
All right.
All right.
I am
Bro.
looking. The fact that the other team is not running a single splash or sloshing machine for that matter, I am. Well, I want to see what happens, but we may not get a chance to.
That is quite the conundrum. Listen, hopefully we can pop into their game 2 match here, and we'll let you know what the results end up being. But we are most likely here going to be taking a little break from the stream because our streamer's gonna get some stuff. Stream downtime. That's the word. Thank you. Our lovely streamer has now told me. And we're gonna try and get some connection stuff figured out. So, thank you for your patience.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll be right back.